Hi, ArcfieldWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Monday morning, July the 15th. A very hot three-day stretch in the mid-Atlantic region from today through midweek. High temperatures in places like D.C., Philadelphia, New York City over the next 3 days, probably in that 95 to 100 degree range. The peak of the heat wave likely to come tomorrow afternoon with many spots in that I-95 corridor touching upon that 100 degree afternoon high temperature. There is cooler air in sight. It looks like a cold front comes through the mid-Atlantic region probably late in the day Wednesday or Wednesday night, ushers in cooler air on Thursday and Friday, and it really looks like much of the remainder of the month does not look that bad in terms of temperatures. Generally, a cooler weather pattern setting up by the time we get to beginning this Thursday and likely continuing for much of the remainder of July. Let's first take a look here at the tropical situation, and here we are in the midpoint of July and absolutely no activity in the Atlantic basin, certainly somewhat unusual this time of the year. Of course, we had the one major hurricane that reached Category 5 status, but all in all, it's been rather quiet since that storm system. And again, it looks like over the next couple of days, no tropical activity in the Atlantic basin. It could shift out to the eastern Pacific right here, and we do have one wave out here in the eastern Pacific Ocean. Is not strong enough to be a named system right now. We go farther west out into the central Pacific, and similar to the eastern Pacific, there is one wave out there, again, not strong enough to be a named system. So all in all, quiet, generally quiet across both the Atlantic basin and the much bigger, much more important Pacific Ocean as we have come to the middle of the month of July. Well, as we mentioned up front here, the next 3 days will be very, very hot in the Mid-Atlantic region. Again, many spots in that I-95 corridor region from D.C. to Philadelphia to New York City could touch upon the 100-degree mark later on today, on Monday, especially on Tuesday. Looks like that'll probably be the peak of the heating in this 3-day stretch here on Tuesday afternoon with, again, some spots reaching the triple-digit levels. This 3-day heat wave does not come without the threat of showers and thunderstorms, however. It looks like each of the next 3 days can feature some afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms, and any thunderstorm in this 3-day stretch can produce some heavy rainfall. When you have afternoon high temperatures going into that 95 to 100 degree range, you have a lot of available potential energy setting up in the atmosphere, maybe even some severe thunderstorm activity as well. This is the forecast of severe weather probability for later on today and tonight by NOAA's Storm Prediction Center. Enhanced risk out across the upper part of the Midwest, but all the way from the middle of the country into the Mid-Atlantic region, the Northeast U.S., there's at least a slight chance for some severe thunderstorm activity. Again, when you get temperatures way up in the 90s, maybe near 100 degrees, you set up the atmosphere to destabilize and possibly into the environmental state where severe thunderstorm activity can develop. There was some thunderstorm activity late Sunday in the Mid-Atlantic region that produced some hail. That is on the table again. Again, not only this afternoon, but really the next couple of days, and probably the best chance of showers and thunderstorms in the Mid-Atlantic region will come later Wednesday night as that cool frontal system slides from the northwest to the southeast. This is the probability outlook for later today and tonight. Let's move forward here to tomorrow, and again, the chance of some strong to severe thunderstorm activity stretching from the Central Plains all the way into the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast U.S. And then we go into the middle part of the week, and here is the outlook for Wednesday, probably associated with that cold frontal system that will be sliding into the northeastern quadrant of the nation late Wednesday night. Will come the best chance of some strong to severe thunderstorm activity. So each of the next 3 days will feature plenty of high heat and humidity. Places like D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, throughout the Mid-Atlantic region also will feature the threat of afternoon and evening strong thunderstorms. Well, let's take a look at last night's zero-Z run of the GFS model. This is the conventional version. Starting off here by looking at 850 millibar temperature anomalies. Just want to kind of push forward quickly over the next couple of weeks to kind of outline the thinking on my part that beginning Thursday, when cooler air reaches the Mid-Atlantic region, really could set the stage for much of the remainder of the month of July to be at or below normal in the Mid-Atlantic region and other parts of the eastern half of the nation. So again, we start off the day here with well above normal temperatures at the 850 millibar level. Again, afternoon highs in the urban cities along the Mid-Atlantic I-95 corridor region, 95 to 100 degrees this afternoon. Now, we'll push forward here. Notice there is some colder than normal air on the map here. This is by tomorrow morning out across central part of Canada into the northern plains. That is associated with the frontal system that will drop south and east across the Great Lakes region by the time we get to Wednesday, and it'll arrive in the Mid-Atlantic region late Wednesday or Wednesday night, again likely with the enhanced threat of showers and thunderstorms. And here we go into Thursday. That cooler air arrives in the Mid-Atlantic region, so we're talking mid to upper 90s, let's say Wednesday afternoon for highs in DC, Philadelphia, New York City, and perhaps lower 80s, excuse me, in much of that same region on Thursday afternoon. Look at this out in the middle part of the nation, well below normal temperatures by Thursday. Certainly a refreshing air mass for this time of the year. And we'll go quickly through the next several days beyond. This is all the way into the upcoming weekend. Just notice the eastern half of the nation will not feature this kind of well above normal temperature pattern here, either at or below normal this weekend, and we'll go quickly through towards the rest of the month of July. And here we go again, nothing extreme here now. This is into the early to middle part of next week, a little bit above normal, but again, nothing extreme like what is being experienced today and for the next couple of days. Here we go through next week. This is all the way out about a week and a half from now, and we'll go out even farther in time into the last week of July. Here we go all the way into Sunday, July 28th, and still relatively close to normal much of the eastern half of the nation. So we have a lot of suffering to go through in the Mid-Atlantic region over the next 3 days with regard to high heat and humidity, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But Thursday not only turns cooler, but it looks like it begins a pattern that will last for much of the remainder of the month of July with at or even slightly below normal temperatures. Nothing extreme looking, at least on an average basis, through much of the remainder of July. Now, I mentioned that the next 3 days here will feature a lot of high heat and humidity and a daily chance of showers and thunderstorms in the Mid-Atlantic region. We have a couple of waves here. This is the map of vorticity maxima, where there's a little bit of spin or a jet streak in the upper part of the atmosphere, and that leads to enhanced upward motion in the lower part of the atmosphere. And here we have a couple of waves. This is the forecast map for this morning, Monday morning, kind of upstream, that both of which will be dropping to the south and east, keeping it unstable. Again, best chance for any shower thunderstorm activity will be the typical afternoon and evening hours. Now let's move forward here, and these little bits of waves and energy will enhance the chance of these afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms over the next few days. And any thunderstorm can produce some heavy rainfall, maybe even some small hail. Very, very high potential energy given the excessive heat and humidity. And then we start going into the middle of the week and look at a much more impressive upper level low that is associated with that cold shot, with that cold frontal system that slides south and east by Wednesday across the Great Lakes, and it arrives in the Mid-Atlantic region by Wednesday evening. And here we go, by the time we get to Thursday, it is moving into the southeastern part of Canada. The general wind flow setting up will be out of the west to northwest in the Mid-Atlantic region. Again, cooler conditions on Thursday and Friday as well, especially when compared with Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in the Mid-Atlantic region. Well, let's wrap up with the surface forecast maps from the zero-Z run of the GFS. And again, Scattered waves of energy in the upper part of the atmosphere keep the threat for showers and thunderstorms alive this afternoon and evening, also Tuesday afternoon and evening, and especially Wednesday afternoon and evening. We'll move forward here quickly, and we can see some green showing up each of the next few days. And here we go into the Tuesday afternoon time frame, and then that frontal system. You can see really a nice Canadian air, high pressure system, a nice Canadian air mass setting up here with a northerly fetch of air on Wednesday morning across the western Great Lakes. And there's a cold frontal system right in this region right here that pushes towards the mid-Atlantic region on Wednesday, and it enhances the chance for showers and thunderstorms late Wednesday evening. Certainly some of those can be strong to severe, something we'll monitor over the next couple of days, the threat for severe weather. And here's that frontal system as of Wednesday evening. We're right along the I-95 corridor region, and this cooler air mass is pushing from northwest to the south and east, and it arrives in the mid-Atlantic region by the time we get to Thursday, and it certainly remains probably with highs in the 80s on Friday as well. This is the Friday morning forecast map. A nice high pressure system situated over the upper part of the Midwest come Friday morning. So excessive heat and humidity, mid-Atlantic region, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Many spots in that I-95 corridor region especially can flirt with or touch the 100-degree mark for afternoon high temperatures. Both this afternoon and tomorrow afternoon. Likely the peak of this heat on a widespread basis will be tomorrow afternoon. A little bit less so on Wednesday because of an increase in clouds associated with that frontal system. And then cooler weather arrives in the mid-Atlantic region on Thursday, and much of the remainder of the month from Thursday on don't look that bad. It doesn't look like there'll be much in the way of excessive heat and humidity for the remainder of the month of July once we get by these next 3 days. That's it for now. For ArcfieldWeather.com, this has been meteorologist Paul Orion.